seemed to take about 20 seconds before it started, but I assume people can see me now. Well, if anybody's watching. Just a second, there we go. Just realised yes, I need to start the game, don't I? That's what I had the other window open for. Yeah, I'm not that organised at times, but yes, this is me continuing. I think this is the 9th session of me playing The Witness. Apparently coming close to 15 hours on this now, which surprises me. It doesn't feel like that long. Okay. Adjust my volume a bit. Oh yes, I was trying to figure out how to do this bit. I know there was something that I wanted to ask somebody to remind me about, but I can't remember what it was. Will I be able to see the screen from here? Apparently not. I feel like there must be somewhere around here where I can see what's on that screen as the light gleams off it. Now the light is... okay. Think about this logically. The light is hitting the screen almost directly. Oh. Right. In which case, I might actually be able to see it reflected and back here when the water reaches the right level. Yes. I'm standing directly between that one and the light. So if the light's coming down at it like that, then the reflection, where will I need to be in order to see its reflection? probably over here. These puzzles aren't so much puzzles as work out where you need to stand in order to be able to see the answer on the screen. Okay, the wire's gone off that way. Where's the next one then? There's a lot of screens in this room. Is it this one that I need to be doing? It seems to be active, but... Okay, I was following that wire. Oh, it looks like I've turned on the second light. Can't get through that way though. Oh. Okay. Okay. So it looks like that one goes that way. Well, that sounded like something came on. So I don't see what's changed. See if I can see the end of this one that I couldn't see before. I think this one I'll need to make a note of. How many sections? That's what I could see that time. So, what can I see from over here? Okay, I guess I'm not in the right place to see the very end, but I think that doesn't leave that many options. No. Oh, come on, though. would be really nice if it actually went in the direction I was moving the mouse. There we go. Yeah, I'm enjoying the puzzles on this one, but I keep having trouble getting lost wandering around the world. Oh. Where do I need to... Looking at the shadows here. It does look like there's a line on the wall that I should be able to trace from some angle, but I can't see what angle it should be at. Okay, they're curved this time. Did I not? I'm pretty sure I saw the line on that one correctly. I assume that one's just introducing a new mechanic. Oh dear. I'm not going to do well at this, am I? Okay, and I can't draw that one because the thing's in the way. But that's not a problem, I don't think. I'm assuming I can get around it behind it. Just about. Yes, there we go. Yeah. I do like this game. I've come to the conclusion that I need 7 lasers to open the thing on the mountain, but I'm going to try and do all of them anyway. Not sure if that's the right decision, but it makes sense to me. Okay, I can see part of that one looking at the thing and part of it looking at the reflection. this one here, I'm not quite close enough to the water. Unless... oh, it's got the switch on the back. Okay, that's simple enough. Looks like it's still right, it's taking a while to get there, but... okay, I was expecting that to be one to activate that thing, not move it up in the air. Although I suppose it could be part of the same thing. Go down one way and come up another. I'm realising that I've actually been playing this for a week now. That beam doesn't look like it's going in the same direction as the others. Now I'm confused. I have no idea what's going on now, because as far as I knew all the beams were pointing to the same place, but that one's pointing into the distance. Okay, that's very strange. But now I'll be going back to where I was a minute ago. Because I just remembered what it was that I was going to ask somebody to remind me when I started today, and oh look, I'm completely lost again. Why am I here? Okay. I have no sense of direction, I really get lost easily, so I do spend quite a lot of time running around in circles trying to get to where I thought I was. But I guess that's what the boat's for. The boat at least has a map on it that doesn't yeah. At the start of this session mine totaled 15 hours, but That's including a restart because it crashed and lost my save at the end of the second session. I was getting used to it crashing every 20 minutes or so and having to restart it, but when I started on day 3, it was crashing immediately as soon as I loaded it. So I uninstalled the game, reinstalled it and started over. Right. Okay, it looks like there's actually... looks like I'm not actually as far as I thought away from where I started. How many lasers have you got so far? Because I don't even know how many there are. But I want to try and get all of them. Unfortunately, I have a terrible sense of direction and spend a lot of time running around in circles. Ah, this is where I wanted to be. I just get confused and lost easily. Okay, now somewhere around here is a way onto the beach. I can't remember exactly where it was. Alright, I've not got there yet. Last time I was up at the mountain there was 6, so I needed 1 more. I can't remember if I've done 1 or 2 more since then. Is the one pointing out to sea because this one's different, or is it because I've already got 7? I have no idea. I've also only got 2 of the little movie things for the cinema. But I wanted to do this. Because since last time I came here, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to turn out being something weird because I've done an extra one or something. No, that's not going to be right, is it? I think I need to draw that shape, and I think it has to be there because if it was along the edge there would be too many dots. And if I draw this one, I haven't got enough to do all the blue ones. So I think, yeah, and I can't do a box for that T-shaped one and reach one of the blue ones. So the only way to do that is if I have a box the right shape for that one, oh no, I don't, do I can do that because either I've got to do a long thin box for that one and get all the blue ones in the same region as the other one, while collecting all the dots. No, yeah, that's, I do. That's the only way to do it, isn't it? See, that would almost be right if that 2 blue one was in the right place. Okay, maybe the other way round. I think I almost got it there. No, because I'm dividing those two from each other now. And I can't do that. And I can't divide that one up as well, can I? And that's in the way because I have to leave space for the yellow one to go horizontally, I think. And I can't go to the edge there because that will block it off. So no, because I'm separating it again. I'm trying to work it out. I think the blue squares all have to apply to this shape to remove it entirely. Because if it's only had some of its blocks removed to leave it as mostly a normal shape, then it's not large enough to reach any of the blue ones. And if I don't remove any blocks, squares from it, then I've got too many blue squares to fit to match the other yellow one. Am I right with that deduction? So that means all the blue ones have to be in the same region. So obviously that's not right. I'll take a picture of the screen to remind me that this is a puzzle I need to think about. I can't see a logical path for it now, but if I can do it on an app where I can actually scribble on the screen and say, like, there must be one here. Like, I know there have to be lines along there, which means there has to be there and there, which means that there has to be a continuous region connecting all these squares. So far I've not needed to do anything like that, but I think this puzzle might be the one that makes me. So I have this on my screen, and I can draw lines where I know lines need to be. I can also shade in squares that I know are in the same region, places where I know there can't be lines. And I know that all the blue bits need to be in the same region, so that means there can't be lines there, which means there have to be lines there and there. So, oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have tea. So I've got that much so far. Feels weird to be doing this on my phone when I've actually got somebody watching, but now I can't have, there's no way to connect lines that are on opposite sides of a line, so if I go up there it would definitely separate those. And obviously I can't create a loop, and every dot needs to have something connected to it. So that gives me that lot. Making slow progress. Oh yeah, and don't forget that I need to finish at the corner. Wherever I've got a dot with only two directions leading away from it, it has to connect there. And there we go. I wasn't too far off before. I don't know if you've done this one, but I think these ones are pretty challenging. From the complexity level of the puzzle, I'm guessing this is another room with a video thing. Yes, I think it is. I think I worked out there's 7 of these. And yet again I take a picture of it because I'm going to need to draw it in a minute. Now, why doesn't this beach have a boat stop? Yeah. Well, at the moment I've got the first and last videos. Plus this one. Someone on yesterday's stream said that between the last video you get access to is over an hour. Alright. And something else occurs to me. That elevator thing taking me up. It's a bit unusual for a puzzle to force you to leave the area you're in. Which makes me curious if going back... I have no idea what this one was for. Seems a bit weird. It doesn't appear to be connected to anything as far as I can see. I knew there had to be one of them. I was looking for that on the surface, but I didn't expect it to be accessible from down here. Okay. Oh well, I thought there'd be something down here. I just thought it'd be something more significant than that. Oh well. The thing that bugs me about these is that you can't tell if any of them have multiple solutions. Because I know the one in the town where you can see the scratch marks on it has multiple solutions that I've only found 2 of. And I assume there's another one, but any of these could have a second solution, and you'd never know unless you try all of them. I should probably look around more thoroughly for the hidden symbols in the background, but okay. This is just me getting lost again, trying to figure out which way I need to walk to get somewhere. Well, there's a building over here, or something over here. Ah, there we go. Right where I needed to be. I struggle with walking in a straight line more than with many of the puzzles. And I notice that that's the same kind of door as the one under the where I just put that last laser up, which makes me think that there's somewhere else you can get into this complex that has tunnels all over the island. There must be another way in that lets you get to the other side of those doors. But presumably it's harder to get to. Anyway, let's see what we get this time. Oh yeah, I took a picture on my phone, didn't I? Which way round does this go? Has to go that way.
And so, by a backhanded, upside-down argument, was predicted that there is in carbon a level at 7.82 million volts, and then experiments in the laboratory with carbon show indeed that there is. And therefore, the existence in the world of all these other elements is very closely related to the fact that there is this particular level in carbon. But the position of this particular level in carbon seems to us, after knowing the physical laws, to be a very complicated accident of 12 complicated particles interacting. So I wish to illustrate by this example that an understanding of the physical laws doesn't give an understanding in a sense of understanding the significance of the world in any way. The details of real experience are very far often from the fundamental laws. There are, in a way of speaking in the world, we have a way of discussing the world which you could call, we discuss it at various hierarchies or levels. Now, I don't mean to be very precise, there's a level, there's another level, and another level, but I will indicate by describing a set of ideas to you, just one after the other, what I mean by hierarchies of ideas. For example, at one end, we have the fundamental laws of physics. Then we invent other terms for concepts which are approximate, who have, we believe, the ultimate explanation in terms of the fundamental laws. For instance, heat. Heat is supposed to be the jiggling, and it's just a word for a hot thing is just a word for a mass of atoms which are jiggling. For that, fundamentally, we should think of the atoms jiggling. But for a while, if we're talking about heat, we sometimes forget about the atoms jiggling. Just like when we talk about the glacier, we don't always think of the hexagonal ice snowflakes which originally fell. Another example of the same thing is a salt crystal. Looked at fundamentally, a lot of protons, neutrons, and electrons. But we have this concept, salt crystal, which carries a whole pattern already of fundamental interactions, or idea like pressure. Now, if we go higher up from this, in another level, we have properties of substances like refractive index, how light is bent when it goes through something, or surface tension, the fact that the water tends to pull itself together, is described by a number. I remind you that we have to go through several laws down to find out that it's the pull of the atoms and so on, but we still say surface tension, and don't worry when we're discussing surface tension of the inner workings, always. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Go on, up in the hierarchy. With the water, we have the waves, and we have a thing like a storm. We have a word for storm, which represents an enormous mass of phenomena. Or sunspot, or star, which is an accumulation of things. And it's not worthwhile always to think of it way back. In fact, we can't, because the higher up we go, we have too many steps in between, each one of which is a little weak, and we haven't thought them all through yet. And we go up in this hierarchy of complexity, we get to things like frog, or nerve impulse, which you see is an enormously complicated thing in the physical world, involving an organization of matter in a very elaborate complexity. And then we go on, we come to things, words, and concepts like man, and history, or political expediency, and so forth, which is a series of concepts that we use to understand things at an ever higher level. And going on, we come to things like evil, and beauty, and hope. Which end is nearer to the ultimate creator, or the ultimate, or if I make a religious metaphor, which end is nearer to God? Beauty and hope, or the fundamental laws? I think that the right way, of course, is to say that the whole structural interconnections of the thing is the thing that we have to look at, and that the sequence of hierarchy, that all the sciences and all the efforts, not just the sciences, but all the efforts of intellectual time, are to see the connections of the hierarchies, is to connect beauty to history, is to connect history to man's psychology, the man's psychology to the working of the brain to the neural impulse to the chemistry, and so forth, up and down, both ways. And today we cannot, and there's no use making believe we can, draw carefully a line all the way from one end of this thing to the other. In fact, we've just begun to see that there is this relative hierarchy. And so I don't think either end is nearer to God's. And to stand at either end and to walk out off the end of the pier only, hoping out in that direction is the complete understanding, is a mistake. And to stand with evil and beauty and hope, or to stand with the fundamental laws, hoping that way to get a deep understanding of the whole world, with that aspect alone, is a mistake. And it is not sensible either for the ones who specialize at one end and the ones who specialize at the other end to have such disregard for each other. They don't actually, but the people say they do. But that actually the great mass of workers in between, connecting one step to another, are improving all the time our understanding of the world, both from working at the ends and working in the middle. And in that way, we are gradually understanding this connection, this tremendous world of interconnecting hierarchies.
If you expected science to give all the answers to the wonderful questions about what we are, where we're going, what the meaning of the universe is, and so on, then I think you could easily become disillusioned and then look for some mystic answer to these problems.